Welcome back to another casted game featuring Casva playing here with the Golden Wolf as the Abbasid Dynasty. We're on Dry Arabia, and he is up against GL the Viper playing as the Rus. I don't know what statue is that. That's just a lumberjack? I think he's a lumberjack, perhaps. Who knows? But anyways, Viper has opened up with the Rus with a second scout. Of course, the Rus, they get that bounty. They go out there and they kill the wolves or the sheep or the boars or whatever, and they get gold from that. And it also will build towards their harvest rate. You can see there as they get to the multiple tiers. It's already out. He's looking to aggro these wolves because that's a 25 gold apiece. So that's 50 gold right there. See if he's got any, nothing over here yet. And he's got the sheep, not to mention. Now, Casva playing as the Abbasid. I'm kind of interested to see what his opening is. You know I play a lot of Abbasid. We've got 7 villagers on the sheep, and now he has an 8th villager on the gold. And yeah, he's going to be rallying new villas out there. Just looking to get a clean age up time. We'll see when he ages up. It's anywhere in the realm of like 2 minutes, 2:15 to 2:30 is really good. So we'll see what his timing ends up being with this age up. We'll check back in and hopefully I don't forget. And Viper, he did open with a hunting cabin, despite the fact he did train that second scout from his town center. So he went right for it. Now, oh, look at this. He's getting these deer, so he's getting some bounty from that and some wolves. In one of the most recent patches, they did increase the price of scouts. So they now cost 70 food, whereas before they cost 60 food. So a little bit of a slowdown for the Rus, but nothing too major, to be honest. And he's going to bring these wolves in, and look at that. That'll be equaling some sweet, sweet gold for him. He is chopping some wood here in the Dark Age. I think he's just saving up to, I don't know. Maybe he's building that for the next age already. I'm not sure exactly. I haven't played a ton of Rus recently, so we'll see what we'll check back in on Viper here in a second. But Casva, let's see his age up time. He's building his House of Wisdom. Let's look at his resource spread. Sitting on 250 food, 200 gold. So right now, he is not aging up. You typically, he messed up bringing his sheep back. You know I do that all the time. But here we've got professionals doing it in action. So that is going to severely slow down your age up time. You can usually age up between 2:15 to 2:30. So this is going to add at least a solid 30 seconds plus to his age up time. You see he's already over that 240 gold. So this is good for Viper. Slowed down the Abbasid just a little bit. And the Abbasid, they can age up quite quickly, especially since their age up time has been increased. They age up faster now. And so Viper, he's getting his wood, getting his food, and he's just about to click up. Let's see. There we go. Let's see which landmark he goes. I see people use both landmarks, honestly. So we'll have to see what he chooses. The Golden Gate. Okay, so that's the economic landmark you can do the trading from. So pretty standard. He's got 4 villagers on that, bringing 2 on over to wood right now. So he has 5 on food, 5 on wood. Let's see what's going on in the middle. A little bit of a skirmish with the scouts, but no animation canceling anymore. So it's just kind of a battle to get the wolf, essentially. So Casva's going to try to scoop this up. Let's see if he gets it. So if you see gold, that means Viper got it. Viper did get the last shot. There we go. What a pro. He's got that wolf, so that's 25 gold for him. Looking at that bounty, he's sitting at 240 bounty. So he needs 10 more gold to unlock Tier 2. And now in transition, Casva is going for stone. He currently has 3 villagers on stone. So this would indicate that he is likely going to be going for a second town center. Now, he could go for some towers and arrow slits, right? But I don't know. 5 villagers on stone. He has villagers probably rallied to mortar stone, actually. I think maybe he's just really trying to get that stone quickly because he's not going to have the wood. Huh. Maybe he'll pull guys off food? I'm not sure. But yeah, he needs a little more villagers on wood there, though, to make this work, because he's going to end up overgathering on stone. But maybe he's got a plan here. We'll see. Okay, so that landmark's almost done for Viper. Let's check in on Casva. He's about done, too. They're going to age relatively close to each other. Now, Casva's going to be putting new villagers onto wood now. Maybe he's got this time perfect, but I don't know. 10 villagers on stone seems like a lot. I think he's going to get this. Maybe he's honestly just afraid of getting pushed off that stone, so maybe his goal here was to grab that stone early, so if he gets pushed back, that he can just turtle up until he has the res to get that town center down, which can be a solid strategy, especially when you consider Rus could bring some pressure with some knights, etc. So there you go. You see he has the stone he needs, 305, 312, so almost perfect. He is researching that fresh foodstuffs, which will decrease the cost of his villagers, brings it down by 50%. And Casva is just putting all his villas on wood now. So that was a lot of walking time. So that's why I kind of said he kind of over macroed on that. If he had rallied to some villas to wood earlier on, like there was a lot of idle time when those villagers were walking across. So I don't know. Maybe his goal was just to get that stone. Meanwhile, Viper over here, he has a blacksmith and archer range. And if he's got a blacksmith this early on, that makes me think he's really going to be playing some aggressive feudal age Rus here. Looking in on that bounty, we do see he is at 295, so he does have that tier 2 bounty. And will he go for an early ram, perhaps? It's kind of risky. I think ram push isn't as strong as it used to be early on in AoE 4's launch. Okay, now here we go. We see villas again kind of, transferring across. There was a lot of walking time from all of this. I mean, and that kind of adds up. There we go. Nice defensive town center on the berries. His 2 town centers nice and close. His second berry bush, by the way, there's one back there, and there's one forward out here. Doesn't have a ton of sheep. And let's see what's going on. We got a few archers coming out for Viper. He's still grabbing some of those wolves, getting some gold from that. We do have a barracks going down, so it's going to be an archer and spear combo. I don't know if he's scouted yet. He probably saw the stone, so he probably knows that this is going on. It's pretty standard for Abbasid. There we go. 2 towners are up, and these villagers, they only cost 25 apiece since he has fresh foodstuffs. Down comes that archer range. Man, go for some camo archers. I love the camo archers. Will he do it? I don't know. It's probably not the move here, to be honest. I still would do it because I just love the camo archers. Okay, scout coming out for Viper, so he's coming in to check in. What is my boy Casva doing? So he's going. He probably saw the stone. He knows there's probably a second town center over there somewhere. And we've got 2 archer range, double archer range. So maybe he's going to go double archer range than a barracks, perhaps? Or he's just going to turtle up with archers. We'll have to see. He has likely scouted that his opponent has archers and barracks. And actually, maybe it's the fact that he did see this, which is very likely. The fog of war is kind of deceptive. Whereas if your opponent's going spear and archer, you can go purely archer and you'll be better off. But of course, there's always the risk of there being knights, perhaps, in this matchup. It looks like he did cancel a building. I think he switched to an archer range. You know why? He ran by his enemy's base and he saw double archer range. And so he canceled that barracks. And so now he's going double archer and barracks as well. Oh, so he's at 3 archer range. So we have 3 archer range in a barracks. He might stop making spearmen altogether here. If he scouted all those archers, he probably realized there's no point of making spearmen. Oh, what's going on down here? Okay, just a little bit of a scout fight. Okay, so Viper's going to start moving out to put the pressure on. The question will be, can Casva hold off this offensive push here? What will Viper target? Let's see what could be some soft targets here for Casva, or for Viper rather. The woodline would be a good spot to target. It's got some space here that he could kind of poke in and maybe get some hits, especially if he comes around and flanks from the top. Left side would be hard to get a whole lot of value. He could try to pick off a villager that's on the berries. Now, one thing to note, guys, I don't know if Castle just did this by mistake, but for the Abbasid Dynasty, you want to build your mill on top of the berries because it makes it so they contain 500 food instead of 250 food. So this is a huge loss of food by Castle. If you consider there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 250, that's a lot of food he just missed out there by not building that mill. And he certainly has the wood to do it. It's probably just an oversight. Okay, now he does have 14 vills. We've got 14 archers against the 11 of Viper. Now, let's see. Okay, so Casva just built his blacksmith. He definitely doesn't have his upgrades yet. Viper has his ranged defense. And does he have his ranged attack? Yeah, he has both of his ranged upgrades. So his archers are more powerful, but the numbers games are just in Casva's advantage at the current moment. Maybe he's going to go for this boar to get that bounty. That kind of looks like what he might be moving to do. The boar is very powerful. Look at this. He has 150 HP, but it's got 4 ranged armor and 4 melee armor, and it deals out 15 damage. Look at this. I mean, that boar is an absolute unit, but he's got a sizable armor. He's able to take that down, and look at that. Plus a 75, So he needs one more of those to get his tier 3 bounty. Just running through with the scout, seeing what's going on. Look at that, the villager building a quick wall to take down that scout. What excellent micro there from Casfa. You don't see a ton of quick walling with the Abbasid, but these are both Age of Empires 2 professionals, and quick walling is quite a feature in that game. So seeing a little bit of those skills transferring over to AoE4 for Casfa. And there you go. You see Viper taking that last boar, and with that, that is a huge boost to his eco. Plus 15% villager food harvest rate. His hunting cabins will gather more gold. Yeah, good timing. Just about the 10-minute mark, reaching tier 3. Viper has to be pretty happy about that. Okay, now he has a ram. So that means he did research that siege engineering. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, because he's Roos. He had his research to siege engineering. Now, Caspa's run out of food. Now, he's run out of food pretty early on because, as I mentioned, he failed to build that mill. He did build one later on. Look at that. So he did catch his mistake. Here comes the archers. Let's see if they can get anything. One villager goes down. 2 villagers go down. Does he split? 3 villagers go down. 4 villagers. Okay, let's look at the villager count. 38 for Viper, 47 for Casfa. And that's a lot of archers. You better be careful. And meanwhile, looks like Casfa is aging up. He has more army, and he's aging. That's just the proof of all those villagers he's had, him just sitting back, investing in his economy. Ooh, gotta be careful. He's running. He does have his attack, but he does not have the defense. But I think he has enough numbers. This should be an okay fight for Casfa. And honestly, for Casfa, if he can clean this up, and while he's aging up in process, this is a good spot for him. Now, Viper is able to trade almost, I think, somewhat evenly. I mean, he ends up losing more in the end, but he had less troops, I believe. Let's look here. Yeah, look at this. I mean, it looked like Viper lost a lot there, but he had more ranged defense. So he had essentially, so he's got 1 ranged armor. So while these shoot and they deal 6 damage, they're actually dealing 5 damage since that ranged armor. Oh, no. Oh, but it looks like he got a raid from the north. Let's take a look at the villager count. 54 versus 41 of Viper. So Viper's picked off a few. Oh, he notices the berries. This could be an integral moment, but I'm a little bit worried about his archer numbers there. His army split at the moment. Let's see how much he has here. Okay, 18 archers versus the 11. Oh, he could go isolate these villagers. Did he ever get that ram belt? No, it's just chilling there. Okay, so Casfa's about aged up. He did go up with the culture wing. That's usually the age up of choice with the Abbasid Dynasty. That will allow him to get this preservation of knowledge, which reduces the cost of all his technologies. So that's a kind of a long-term eco bonus you can get. But let's see if he goes for it. I'm always conflicted, like, do I queue up all my tech right away? Okay, he did get preservation knowledge right away. Let's see if he queued up his archer techs. No, he's going to wait and take that savings, but it takes, let's see, how long does it take to research that? It's going to be another, so it looks like a minute to research. And that tower is going to go down. He did pull his villagers early and on, but let's see if Viper's able to, oh, he did not find them. Now look at this, Viper coming in on the other side, but losing those villagers. He's just trying to honestly kind of starve his opponent out right now. If we look at the current resources, Casfa does not have a ton of food, but he's not like poor in the poorhouse yet. But he just ran out of the food under his town center, and this makes me a little bit worried. I think maybe he just goes for those berries, to be honest. Maybe we'll go for wood here. Oh, he's gonna go for a keep. Oh, I love it. He's gonna go for a keep. Now, meanwhile, Viper, he's looking to age. He needs a little bit more food, but he's getting close to aging. Using this tower to his advantage. Look at that. Smart move there from Casfa. So he just built a few towers around to supply some defenses. Yeah, he's going to be going for a keep. Oh, what if he could go for another town center. I think he's going to go for a keep. I love this. So early, I feel like I'm sometimes too hesitant to like just, I mean, this is a big commit. He's got 33 villagers on stone. He's going to have this keep in no time. But honestly, that'll buy him the safety he needs. And, you know, he'd rather do that than go out and lose his villagers right now out on these berries. He does have gold to the north, a little bit of risky. But in comes a ram and some archers. And he has a single mangonel. That might be enough to hold his position for now. Oh, he was so close to having that 800 stone. Look at that. Oh, he turns it in. He does have it. Okay. So he's going to go drop a keep. Let's see where he drops it. Coming in and take out that ram. But a lot of idle time for these villagers. They're all running around with their torches, but he does pick off a ram. That's 300 resources. There's another ram here. Let's see if he is able to get that. I think he can save that tower if he just gets a hammer on that. Oh, he was just a little late. But there we go. Viper reaches next stage. That's 600 wood down, but I mean, this has been 38 idle villagers for some time here. Building that keep so he'll have some defenses around. Looks like the stone, the wood, and the berries. Up to the north, we've got a raid coming in here. Viper has been keeping the pressure on Casfa. Looking at the villager count, 71 for Casfa, 49 for Viper. So really pulling ahead. Look at these villagers. They ain't scared. They're getting in on this battle. Now let's see how much damage. They do 6 damage, 6 knife damage. And these archers don't have any melee defense. So he's actually doing some damage to these. Pretty funny. Rebuilding that the defensive tower up to the north. Still just a big archer army for Viper. Let's see what he's transferring into. I'm seeing 2 siege workshops. So I think he's going to be going for some mangonels is what I predict. I'm not sure if he knows his keep is here yet, though. He could have clicked that and saw that he gathered all that stone, which would kind of indicate a nice little defensive wall here for Casfa, just to protect his berries to the north. So a little palisade wall can mean a big difference. You saw him use a wall down here as well. Let's check in here. He did get that preservation of knowledge. Let's see what text he has researched. This looks like he got his age to attack. He does have, he is just now getting horticulture. He did get, of course, a wheelbarrow earlier on. Now he did build a market, probably just for trading mostly. I don't think he's going to be making traders at this time, especially that's not very far away. But look at this. Yeah, look. Oh, is there a hole? Oh, I thought there was a hole at the side. Okay, so this is huge. If he had, like that, this small investment just totally stopped this raid from happening. It gave Casfa knowledge of where his army was, and now he kind of knows the situation on the battlefield. He's going for some more stone. I don't know if he's going to go for upgrading towers, or if he's perhaps going to go for another town center or another keep. Really, a lot of options for him right now. 1, 2, 3, 4 stables. So really committing to the cavalry switch. Will he go for horsemen or will he go for lancers? I do wonder. He has built a ram up here, but I feel like Viper is just falling further and further behind eco-wise. You know your opponent's sitting on 2 town center, and if you're not able to really get enough pressure on his eco, I don't know. He needs to go all in on military or like slap down some town centers. He's got to do something because Abbasid are just booming away, and this is honestly the point in the game that I think the Abbasid excel in. If they've had their 2 town centers up for a while, they've established third age, they've got those techs coming in. And this is where Abbasid starts to really become a force. Because as their eco grows, they can really just slap down these siege units, wherever they want out on the battlefield. I really do notice the difference in speed of siege units since the last patch. Now look at this. Springgold's in there. He does lose 1 mangonel, so that's a good value there. 400 wood, 200 gold, of course, losing that. And he's trying to kill the Springgolds with the archers. It does look like Viper is taking all these sacred sites now, so that'll help him with his eco task. He has poked a hole in those defenses. In come the archers and the ram. And so those villagers will probably need to run away. Still continuing to go head-to-head with this Springgold there, losing some archers. Uh-oh, villager raid coming in. Does Casfa see it? I'm not sure if he does. We will look at the villager count after this. Oh my gosh, this is a big villager raid for Viper. He's wiped out all of the gold vills, all the food vills, and I just don't think Casfa has noticed it. Wow, a huge raid, and we talked about Viper had to do something to get back in this game eco-wise, and that's certainly going to help. Let's look at the vill count. 73 for Casfa versus the 60 of Viper, but there's 3 town centers. So even though Casfa's, he's up by 13, right? Because he had 2 town centers for a long time. I know he lost a lot of vills, but with these 3 town centers, he's going to quickly repop those vills. It's not the end of the world for him, but that is huge value gain for Viper. He does have 3 sacred sites. Let's look at this current income per minute. You can see Viper's really bringing in the gold now. Each of those sacred sites provide 100 gold per minute. And he has 4 relics if he does garrison that. So that's 400 gold, 5, 6. That's 700 gold a minute. So that is, honestly, his eco's almost even right now, considering all that gold. He might even be even. Now, Casfa getting his surroundings archers. Viper does not have any anti-cav, and this is going to be a big issue in this fight as these Lancers are just going to keep chasing these archers down. Boy, oh boy, this might have been... he got a good villager raid, but he maybe needed to get out of there a little faster because Casfa is currently wiping out those archers. But archers are rather inexpensive units. He can remake those. He's bringing in a lot of gold. He could even like buy some res if he needed to. But look at this. He's doing good on resources-wise. Viper is honestly... I would consider almost ahead. I think gold's probably more important to be generating like that. But oh, a big mangonel shot. Losing this army would make me think maybe this is going to be advantage Casa for some time. He needs to kite back with these horse archers. You don't want to just stand up against those lancers. Maybe Viper's not watching. Okay, there we go. He is kiting a little bit, but standing and fighting. A lot of units less. Let's look at the military graph. You can see there. Yeah, so Casfa has lost a lot less units. And look at that, we do have a mangonel. Will he be able to protect this mangonel is what I wonder. These are all pretty low HP, so I think he will. Okay, does he have all 5 relics? No, I just heard another one be deposited. I don't know where. Oh, right here. Okay, in the monastery. Trying to stop that sacred site from going down. But Viper, he's going to have some mobility. Now, these horse archers, they used to be... We've seen these a lot, right? They were so powerful on previous patches. They have since been nerfed, of course. But they're still a great unit. They're quite mobile. They're not the glory that they were before. But let's go back at... look at the villager count. 67 for Viper. 91 for Casfa. So that's going to be a big deal here. Especially as the game just keeps continuing on. He's getting more and more resources. Somehow the ram got in here and is taking down a house. That's kind of funny. We'll see if he gets any value out of that. They're just focusing on protecting his sacred sites right now. Honestly, I feel like maybe Viper could consider aging and going... Oh, I don't know. Can you really afford to age? Because Abbasid is just... They're snowballing with their economy right now. Man, oh man. This is a tough spot to be in. Viper's going to have to really play this well. Take some good trades. Take some good engagements. If he's going to win this. Okay, we got Viper being chased back by Casfa right now. And he's got some horse archers coming into the north, but he needs to keep these mangonel. He needs those mangonels. And unfortunately, he's going to be losing them to the cavalry. The cavalry's do a lot of damage, but not before getting a volley off. Does look like he dealt a little bit of damage there. Boy, oh boy, I'm not sure if horse archers are the answer anymore. He's making a lot of horse archers, but they just seem like they're just dying and falling back. It doesn't seem like he's like ever winning fights with these. The knights are really an issue for this. Okay, so losing his siege, losing a lot of units. Now he's losing a few villagers. What's he going to do behind this? Still training more horse archers. I think he will probably eventually kill this army. Now there's a raid going on to the north. Viper loves his raids. Look at this. Can he get some villagers while Casper's not watching? He's currently shooting at the farms. Man, that'd be nice if those were shooting at villagers right now, because it doesn't look like Casper's paying attention. But he's just focusing on his defense back at home, and there we go. He's going to take out the army, and in come his horse archers. But it does look like Caspa noticed, and he pulled back. Look at these beautiful farms. They're just farms as far as the eye can see. Look at that keep. This is kind of a pretty base. Add a wall in there, and we'd really be talking. Yeah, that's you know when I'm doing this, like this is peak thumbnail material right here, right? Okay, so horse archers getting chased down by the horsemen. Caspa's got a little force mid. Viper has fought off what was in his base. Let's look at the current income per minute. And you can see there, Caspa is out gathering across the board, with the exception of some gold. And I'd say that's probably what's keeping him in it. This relic gold. He has a lot of relics. I think he has 4 relics. Where's the 5th relic? Oh, it's up here. He could even go snag that if he really wanted to, right? Because there's a hole in that wall. And he knows it. One thing to consider, guys, I did not pay attention to when the sacred site countdown started, but Viper does have all 3 sacred sites, but they are not walled up. So I would imagine it might be pretty hard for him to hold this. As we see, we mentioned it, and it does look like he's going to be losing probably 2 of these right now. So that could have been a win condition for him, but they're quite spread out. This is kind of a hard map to hold all these 3 sacred sites without some significant walling. And Caspa's going to be dropping a very aggressive keep here. Okay, we've got honestly, he can run with those horsemen and pop those mangonels right now. He needs to, if he pays attention, because cavalry does a lot of extra damage to siege. If we click on, oh, they are. I'm trying to show you, but they keep dying. Okay, there we go. That keep is being built, and Viper bringing up the mangonel. If he can hit those villagers, that would help. But there's a ton of villagers on this. Look at this, 20 villagers. Oh my gosh, it's a huge volley. But we know he has plenty of villagers to spare. Losing a whole lot of villagers. That might have been 10 vills that died right there, but he still has 103 villagers versus the 74 of Viper. And now he's got to keep on 2 of his wood lines. His back wood line is mined out, or chopped out, whatever you want to call it. And this is his only wood right now on the front line, but we have 3 rams moving forward. Not a whole lot of melee units to deal with them. And without wood, Viper's kind of going to be probably completely starved out. He could go for that eastern wood line. That keep is just going to be such a big issue. Not to mention, in order to take down that keep, he needs wood, right? To make the siege units, he needs to take it out, and it's currently contesting. So for Kasva, just a very, very smart placement here, denying resources from his opponent. Now, okay, so Viper's finally going to lose the Sacred Site. He's kept these through all of this. I'm surprised how long he's had it. Kasva has trained a few Camel Riders. We don't see a lot of those out, but here we go. And Viper is running around. Will he hold this? You know, he needs to stand on the Sacred Site. He's not going to hold it, and down it goes. So much for a Sacred Site victory. I think he maybe could have held that, which would have been funny. Oh, but he did lose the... he's losing the eastern one right now. Oh, look at that. He's got the oil, the burning oil. You don't want to be in range of that. But he was able to take out those Springolds. He has 2 Trebuchets, and Trebuchets did get a buff in the most recent patch. They do more. They do splash damage against whatever they hit, where before if they missed, they weren't doing any damage. So we see this Trebuchet actually being quite effective for Viper, and he might be able to claim back his wood line. Kasva is trying to repair it, losing some villagers along the way. I actually want to see if some splash damage from that Trebuchet will kill some villagers. No, it doesn't. You'd think like pieces of rubble falling off might kill a villager. Okay, so Camel Riders going on a raid. Viper on the run. Usually Viper's the one doing all these late game raids from most of the games I watch. Viper loves late game raiding. Okay, we're just under the 30-minute mark right now for this game. And I don't know. Castle's looking very strong. Okay, here we go. Cavalry charging forward. What does he have to defend his trebuchets? He doesn't have anything. Oh, no, he has a few crossbows, but this is going to be... These are expensive units to be losing, but he's trying to repair it. He loses 1 trebuchet. Will that second trebuchet go down? Honestly, just with 1 trebuchet down, that might be enough to hold his keep. And he is repairing this, and I think the crossbows are going to defend it. Very smart move, moving to repair that siege quickly. The rate that you repair siege is quite fast in this game. Viper did stop the raid off to the southwest of his base. Okay, and the siege continues, but we see the issue with trebuchets is they are very, very slow. All right. Okay, here we go. Mangonel hit. He really needs to get a mangonel shot on those villagers. Over to the east, we have 2 keeps. It almost looks like Kasva is trying to shore up the gold and the sacred site, right? He's dropping keeps on all of the gold / the sacred site, so he might go for them himself, but I think he's mostly just looking to starve his opponent of resources. So Kasva just really using keeps quite effectively here as Abbasid Dynasty. I actually want to see if he did not get the tech to... He could have got this medical centers, which would have made his units nearby heal every 1 second, +2 health. That actually might have been worth it, just considering how long he's been around these keeps. But oh no, it is gold to spend. Okay, here we go. Another rush on down. I think that was a mangonel just died. We got pings going off all over the map. While this battle's going on, let's check what's going on to the north. Viper going on a raid. He did pick up a few villagers. And there is a Lancer battle down to the east side, but it looks like Viper will be taking the victory in that fight. And honestly, it looks like Viper's winning on all fronts here. He took down the keep. He took off he killed the eastern raid. He stabilized in his base, and he's going on a raid his own. This is probably the most favorable position. Look at this. He's maybe trying to do some raiding, building a stable to the north to get some flanks in. Look at the village count, 116 versus the 76 of Viper. So that's still just like the thing we got to deal with. Looking at the income per minute, you can see there, Kasva really outgathering. But Viper has claimed back his wood line. But gold's going to be an issue here in the late game because there's these keeps. You know, as the army count's a little bit maybe lower than it could be the whole game, it would be nice to see our Viper maybe take out those keeps now, because it's going to be hard once there's full armies just defending those. Surprised that Casva hasn't gone for these sacred sites yet. Okay, pulling back. Okay, we've got 2 trebuchets here starting to work on this keep, but as we saw before, these villagers, they can repair this keep for a very, very long time. Knights going for a raid. Viper loves doing these night raids. You know, honestly, Casva should just repair this. Wow. Talk about reading my mind. Repairing that wall. Okay, we've got Viper. Knights going up ahead, toe-to-toe here with the archers, but I think these knights probably will go down. But in comes some raids. Okay, so Viper's going to start just trickling in. A horseman here, a knight there. Oh! Did Casva see it? Oh, he's just... maybe he's... I think he might have saw it. Because he's currently walling them out with stone walls. He doesn't have a ton of stone, but just enough. He's putting some stone walls there. So probably going to wall himself in. Oh my gosh, look at all these horsemen charging forward now. If we take a closer look at these horsemen, they do plus 20 damage to siege. So they have bonus damage to siege. So down goes that trebuchet. Down goes 2 trebuchets. There's a 3rd trebuchet built. Now, talking about cost. Trebuchets cost 500 wood and 250 gold. And Viper, well, he has actually gathered back on this income per minute. I'll say he's been really hurting on wood, so that's a lot of resources to lose. There's this ping going off all over the map. We've got the stone wall going up. Casva looking to maybe age as we get the notification. Not sure if he'll go for it. Yes, he is aging. 1 trebuchet was trained. He has 2 more trebuchets, so continuing to work on these keeps. Trebuchets they just take a long time to get the job done. And we have camel riders coming in, and look at this. They deal a lot of damage against these villagers. Look at this. Down they go. Dealing out 14 damage per shot. That is high damage. So these villagers running back now. He did get the upgrade. They do have 75 HP. We have 3 pings going off right now. We've got a tower in the middle. We've got the siege going on at the keep here. Up to the northwest, we've got a stonewall tower to stop the flank. I kind of like that flank stable Viper went for. But here, as we move just past the 30-minute mark, we've got Casva aging up. It does not look like Viper is aging, and the question will be, how can Viper hold on here as Casva reaches the 4th age and perhaps bombards come into the equation? He has completely walled this in. This is hilarious. But he has not taken the sacred sites. He doesn't want to. He really doesn't want to go for a sacred victory, despite having all these keeps on these sacred sites. Hasn't even touched this one on the east. What's going on down here? Just some farms. What's he training? Some men-at-arms. Yeah, Viper's got to do something here. Casva's sitting back. Now, if we look at the score right now, it says that Viper is in the lead, but score calculation is a mystery to everyone, right? We have some ideas what goes into it. But I think we're going to see that maybe jump up here as Casva, look at that, reaches the next age, and suddenly his score hops on up to 7,500. And another keep being dropped down on the back line. How many keeps has he built this game? Like, he's at least built, I think, more than 6 keeps. He had 1, 2, 3 right there. There was 4 there. 5, 6. That 4 one. He's built, I think, 7 keeps. Okay, and we've got trebuchets here. And Viper, 3 trebuchets, that's a lot of damage. 2 is like they can use a repair, but 3, it starts to get pretty serious as far as if you're going to keep this alive. So he's putting a lot of villager seconds into gathering the stone to make the keeps, and then the keeps are just dying. So, this could give Viper a little bit of chance, but he has, oh my gosh. Casper right now has 140 economic units. So, I don't know, that's a lot of eco. I'm going to try to keep these trebuchets alive as we have... the horseman charge did not work this time. There is a springald out in the field. Let's see if he can... there we go. He's able to stop that from pushing forward. And, Viper, he's really using these trebuchets. Down goes another keep. Man, let's look at these trebuchets in action. I love them. You don't see them enough. But Viper really deploying the trebuchets to the battlefield today. Wow, look at them go. They're beautiful. We love a good trebuchet. That keep is in big trouble. Big trouble. Off the distance. This is a nice cinematic experience. This is Age of Empires right here. This is what I want to see. Forget bombards. I mean, bombards are cool and all, but trebuchets sieging down keeps. Oh my gosh. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay, down it goes. And Viper taking out a lot of keeps. We know he's probably down in eco, but you got to consider Casper's had a lot of villagers on stone. But I don't know. I'm a little bit. I'm nervous for Viper here as these elite upgrades come in. And Abbasid, you know they've got the late game techs. Let's see what he went up with. He did go up with the military wing, so he could upgrade these camels. He's got a lot of options here. Okay, here we go. This could be a deciding battle. We got Spearmen on the front line, but the camel archers, they deal a lot of damage to Spearmen. They have 16 ranged attack, and they do plus 28 to light melee infantry. So that is a ton of damage. Oh, those mangonels flattening a bunch of archers. We've got the lancers flanking on the back line, and you know each one of these, that's 1,000 wood gone, plus gold, some gold and some change, right? But losing some trebuchets, he did save that back trebuchet, but oh man, I feel like this fight could have gone so much different if he had maybe 2 springolds to take out those mangonels, because those mangonels just flattened so many of his spearmen and crossbows and archers. And honestly, I felt like Viper maybe had the better mass for the fight, but he just was not able to deal with the 2 mangonels that were just flattening his army. And there we go, an over 30-minute game, and Viper taps out. Caspa taking the victory with the Abbasid Dynasty. Wow, what a good game. That was fun all the way through. And well played from both of these guys. Really interesting seeing the keep drops and the back-to-back siege, the use of the trebuchets. Really enjoyed it. But anyways, hope you liked this casted game. If you're watching this over on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and leave me a comment. Let me know what you would think about the game and in these players. And I'll see you guys in the next one.